Hey there, welcome to number 18 of our No Nonsense November. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, sharing every day one little piece of experience or wisdom that I've acquired over my last 6+ decades on planet Earth. What have I learned? Lessons learned. I guess they're all lessons learned. I was going to talk about lessons learned today, and I'm like, they're all kind of lessons learned, so let's just save that for another day, or just use it for a summary at the end of the month. Well, today I decided I would talk about experiences, and that, as hard as it is to understand, every single thing that we experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, the happy, the sad, the traumatic, everything, whether we understand or realize it at the time, is actually for us. Every experience is for you. Every experience that you have is uniquely created for you. And you might say, well, created by who? Well, we create our own experiences, whether we believe it or not. We actually choose, and based on our choices and our free will and the decisions that we make and the experiences we've had previously, we end up in different circumstances and have different experiences than other people. No two people, even if they're siblings, I've had totally different experiences in my life than my 3 female siblings. I have 3 sisters, and all of us, although we were raised by the same parents in the same household in the same family, we are all very different and unique, and each of us, although we were in that same environment, had different experiences, and we experienced that life differently, each and every one of us. How can that be? Because we, based on our previous experiences, are always looking for the thing that's right for us, the next right thing for us. We talked about the next right thing a few days ago. We talked about so many things, but this is one that if we can wrap our head around it and our conscious mind around it on a subconscious level, we tend to respond and react better than if we believe that we have no control and that things just happen randomly to us in the world. And some things do happen randomly to us in the world, but that's because of the choices and the places and the decisions we've made to be in a location where something chaotic and random happens. I don't think anyone would have picked the pandemic as something we wanted to experience, yet almost all of us on the planet have simultaneously experienced the pandemic during the last 1.5 years. Now, the pandemic has impacted each and every one of us, and our experience of it has been different for each and every one of us. I experienced the pandemic differently than a lot of other people, primarily because the previous couple of years I've been going through a lot of changes and pulling back of the way and changing the way I do things anyway due to vision challenges. So to me, it felt a little bit like the world was kind of having to slow down and do the things that I'd been already doing. So I felt like I actually had an advantage coming into the pandemic than a lot of people did, that were automatically just hurled into the situation and had to come up with solutions right then and there for themselves and for their families. Now, I'm right along with you when I say I've had experiences and I've had traumas and I've had things in my life that at the time I had no way of understanding that they were for me, because they certainly didn't feel like they were for me. When I got fired from a job, it didn't feel like it was for me. When I got passed over for promotion, when I had a sudden cardiac arrest, didn't feel like it was for me. But now looking back on those situations, I realized they were exactly what I needed at the time, whether I believed it or not. I needed to get out of that company. It was not a good fit for me. It was actually sucking the life out of me and my soul out of me. I needed to get divorced and get out of my marriage. It was a bad relationship for me, right? So even though we have experiences that don't feel good, just because it doesn't feel good doesn't mean the experience isn't for us. Everything that happens to us is for our benefit. Now, it might not be for our physical life experience here benefit, but it's for a larger, greater benefit. This is totally what I believe, is that it's for the benefit of our big being, our soul, right? It's not necessarily feeling like it's a benefit for this particular life experience, because people would say, well, Sharon, how do you explain when people die of pancreatic cancer? My sister, one of her good friends, died of pancreatic cancer just recently, and how do you explain that experience was for that person? Well, I say, hey, they transitioned to the next thing in their soul's development, so that's a good thing. But most people think I'm crazy when I say something like that, because they haven't had a death experience where they understand more of what's to come after this life, and so they're still afraid of dying. But to me, even though it doesn't seem like it, that person is now out of pain, out of agony, out of the physical drama and trauma that they were experiencing, and have moved on and transitioned to a next much better thing for them, right? So love to know what you think of this. Do you think I'm absolutely nuts and crazy and that bad stuff happens and you don't deserve it? Well, none of us deserve it, but was that experience actually, did it prove out to be for you? Were there pluses that happened from that experience? Or no, I'm just full of you know what. So share your thoughts and comments in the session below, and I will of course be with you tomorrow with another no nonsense November lesson that I've learned throughout my 6+ decades here on the planet. Have a great day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow. Comments, concerns, questions are absolutely positively welcome. Any lessons learned or big life lessons that you've had that you want to make sure I cover, please share those in the comments below too, because otherwise, again, I am just in the morning as I'm getting ready, I think about, well, what is a great life lesson that I've had? So do I cover something different? I did No Nonsense November last November, but I did it as I shared a tool every day that I have experienced in my life. And I think in August of last year is when I added tools to the Get Up and Go challenge, which December 1st through 31st, we're going to have the next, the 10th, free 30+ day Get Up and Go challenge. Then after that, we'll reevaluate and we'll see what we're going to do with that. I don't know that I'll do it in 2022. 2022 has got a whole lot of exciting things coming, and I'm not sure I will set aside the time and make it a priority like I have in 2020 and 2021. 2020 and 2021, holy buckets, did we need it? I don't know if we'll need it in 2022. I'm kind of hoping that we don't, knock wood, because we could use some experiences that are for us from the outside world. At least I feel like we could. All right, have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow. Bye. Go have no nonsense.